Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Trash Talk.
What's up, guys? I'm in my car and not driving. Long story, not going to get into it,
No, and we
but
should we should put a disclaimer that he's not homeless, living in
I'm
his
not
car.
homeless. I'm not homeless. I'm
So,
not driving.
yeah,
I am parked right now. Long story. That's all
this
I'm
is
going to
this
say.
is this is the auto version of Trash Talk.
It just goes to show you my level of commitment for this show, you know?
That's right. Yeah, just all right. You kidding? Come on. We sit. We talk about what we're going to do, and we try to lay. Yeah, okay. And I'm going to be in my car. Yeah.
I know. Well, hey,
So
at least I didn't reschedule, you know?
yeah. So if you hear the sound of a semi going by or
Right.
something like that, you'll know. And that's not Brandon's horn on
Oh,
his car.
yeah. Or if somebody knocks on my window and asks for driver license and registration. Uh, I'm
Right.
going to put him on the show.
Yeah.
Everybody else can record police. I'll do it too.
That'd be good. Yeah.
And I'll be like, hey, this
Yeah.
is this is not a first for me, guys. I once did a podcast with my buddy David Harvey while I was getting my first COVID shot.
Oh, really?
True. Yeah, back when we didn't know what the hell COVID was, we all thought we were going to die of zombie apocalypse. And they had the drive-through COVID shots. One of the most surreal things I've ever seen. It literally looked like a scene from The Walking Dead. Like the army was there. Like I was like, and it was over at the Texas Motor Speedway.
The drive, one of the drive-in
Yeah, I mean, this is
places.
back in the day, guys. Like
Right,
we
right.
were convinced that zombies were coming,
Yeah.
and at least I was convinced. And yeah, I did the podcast, and the girl that was giving me the shot, I mean, she's on the show. She talked for, yeah, it was great, man. But that's so I've done that. I've now I also did a part of a podcast from a Bucky's bathroom. That was cool. And then now I'm in my car. So here we go. What are we talking about?
Yes. So in other words, it's our show is going into the trash also.
It is. It's accurate.
From the studio to the car.
To the car.
And where next? Down to the curb.
That's right. Story of my life.
So so how about them Cowboys?
Oh man. We're about to make everybody mad in Texas. Look, by the way, disclaimer,
Yeah,
this is not live. We are doing this.
right.
So there are going to be some playoff games happening. Right now, I don't know what day it is. It's Thursday. Technically, it's Tuesday when you guys are watching it, but it's Thursday when we're recording this.
Right.
And there's going to be some playoff games this week, and the Cowboys are not going to be in them. So,
Uh, right. Yeah.
bro,
And everybody was totally convinced that they would be.
no, they're always convinced every year. Look, I know, take it from a Detroit Lions fan, okay, who, by the way, are in the playoffs. And we'll get to that. But
Right.
it's hard being a sports fan. I mean, look, I'm Michigan State and we suck. Like it is hard to watch, especially when Michigan wins the national championship. Blah. It's
Right.
hard to watch. But I wasn't going around this year saying, oh, Michigan State can do it. Every time the Cowboys win like 2 or 3 games, they're all like, oh, we're going all the way. We're going all the way. And it's cool if you want to believe that in your mind, but don't say that out loud because look what happens.
Well, they were 9-0 at home. They did not lose a home game. They just lost on the road.
They
So,
should have
you know,
lost to the
every,
Lions at that home game. That's all I want to say.
yeah, everybody was convinced that, well, yeah, they got the home field advantage, and they're gonna win the game. And boy, did they get skunked.
Oh, they didn't even win. They didn't do it. That was, oh my God. And here's the thing with Green Bay. Like Green Bay started getting hot on Thanksgiving when they beat the Lions.
Right.
And I don't rule out Green Bay, not because they have like this in-depth, like amazing team. They've got some good players. It's the coaching element on Green Bay that makes me say, don't don't count them out. Don't act like you're gonna walk in and just beat them just because you're at home.
Yeah, and almost every year there is a Cinderella team. It's that fourth, fifth, sixth seed team that they just have the chemistry. Like you said, no real superstars. They just got that chemistry. And I am still a firm believer that a lot of these games are won on two things. Number one, defense. You
Well,
know,
yes.
you got to have a stronger defense, and also the team that has the fewest penalties is going to have the advantage of winning. Because if you're being penalized every time you move forward, you're getting
Oh, you're
kicked
done.
back from penalties.
You're starting over again. Look, Green Bay had the Dallas defense running around like a bunch of middle schoolers. Like that, their offense, like they didn't know what to do. Offensively, it was smart.
Yeah. And did you notice that they kept running very much the same routes? And it kept working every time. It was just a simple, straightforward and route, and it was working against our defense.
Well, don't say R. I'm not part of this team.
Well, I'm just saying because we live in the
I'm
Dallas area.
I'm making PSA real clear. I am not a Dallas Cowboys fan just because I live here at all.
Yeah. You, 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 I hope there's nobody in the proximity of your car right now that heard you say that.
Man, I don't care. I'm going to tell you right now. I am loud. I am proud. I am 313 Detroit. Look,
Yeah.
whatever happens, and God, I hope that we beat Tampa on Saturday. I know everybody's like, "Oh, you beat them before." That doesn't mean anything, okay? Like,
Right.
look, you can beat somebody 4 times, and on that fifth time, you can lose, okay?
Yeah.
We are beat up. We're tired. We had a hell of a game against Matthew Stafford. Hell of a game. But I just want my Lions to do it. Just beat Tampa. Let's go. Let's go.
And that was an interesting game because you had Goff against Stafford, and
Yeah.
they previously were quarterbacking for the other teams.
It was crazy. And Stafford was coming back to Detroit. And Detroit, look, Detroit's got love for Stafford today, right now. I got nothing bad to say about Matthew Stafford. I love that guy.
Yeah.
We love him. He's part of Detroit, but you're gone now. And when you come into the Lions, Dan, we had to boo you.
Yeah.
I knew when I felt the electricity, because I watched that game on TV. I wish I was there. I felt the electricity. When Eminem kicked off the show, I was like, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
The ambassador of Detroit has spoken. And then you had Barry Sanders there. You had Calvin Johnson there. I was like, oh my God, like we are in some high prime real estate right now.
And the social media picked up on Eminem real big time because they kept showing Swifty over there in Kansas City, and you guys got Swifty, but we got Eminem.
Yeah, she's over there swag surfing, and we got Shady. Look, I got to talk about Taylor Swift for a minute, guys. I got to talk about it. Can everybody leave her alone, man? She's having a good time. I am not a Swiftie, okay? But the girl is an amazing businesswoman. I give her mad props for doing what she's done all her life. She's out there having a fun, supporting the guy she's dating. Who cares if I heard somebody got me real mad. I heard somebody talk about how she's ruining the game.
She's ruining.
Yeah.
Because the camera is
right.
her every time Kansas City scores, they take a shot of Taylor Swift. Hey,
and I'm like, so what? Like, it works. And also,
that's right.
This is not the first time that we've seen celebrity girlfriends or husbands at sports games. Look at basketball. We see it all the time. Right. Like every time I turn around, like Jay-Z and Beyonce are at a game. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who cares? She's not ruining. And somebody got so mad they called into one of these stupid sports shows I was watching, and they were like, "Look, she needs to go away. She's taken away from the sport." And I'm like, "You want to talk about some male insecurity right there? Like, Wow. I'm
Yeah.
like, let the girl have fun. Who cares? I want absolutely the idea of Taylor Swift, and we're going to see it. Taylor Swift and Eminem in the same building, that place is going to erupt. That place
Yeah.
is going to, and if anything's going to take away from the game, it's going to be those
It'll
two
be
in the
that,
first
right?
20
Yeah.
minutes.
You know, and the fans in the stadium or at home are going to be sitting there. Would you put the camera back on the field? You know,
You know what? That's what we want to see. Well, it's not going to happen this Saturday. I'm sorry. I said it should. You know what I meant to say.
yeah,
Guys, I'm getting excited here.
yeah.
I want to see that. I want to see Taylor and Eminem in the same stadium.
I'll tell you the thing that absolutely amazed me was the Buffalo game.
Yeah.
When the coverage started of that game and they showed that stadium and that field completely cleared
That was crazy.
because for 3 days earlier they posted on social media $20 an hour and they would give you food and all, come down to the Buffalo Stadium and help shovel the snow out of the stadium. And
I would do it.
they had hundreds of people that showed up. The job they had to do was monstrous. They kept showing 4 feet of snow. You couldn't even see any of the seats, And when the game started, what was really cool was the playing field was completely clear. It was great, even though it was cold as could be. But they left all the snow under the seats in the stands.
Yeah.
And you see every time that there was a first down or something, people would reach down under their seat and they were throwing snow up in
Yeah. I mean, like, look, first off, they're in Buffalo. This isn't new to them, number one. Number two,
Yeah,
man, that's football.
that's
Everything
right.
about that story is what football's about, man.
That's right. And that also I kind of doesn't quite add up in my book is that all the covered stadiums are south. Most of the dome stadiums are south.
It's
Green
the heat.
Bay's still got an open stadium. Buffalo's got an open stadium. I think Pittsburgh still has an open stadium. Detroit though is a dome stadium, isn't it?
Detroit. Yeah, Ford Field's a dome.
Yeah,
Can it open? I think it can open though.
yeah, yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, the stadium in Lucas Stadium in Indianapolis is the same way. They can open or close it depending on.
Well, it's the heat. It's the heat, man. It's a lot easier to play. I know it sounds crazy. It's a lot easier to play in the cold. Uh, I know that sounds crazy. I mean, you don't want to. I mean, could you imagine the Cowboys playing when it's 110 in Texas? And even when it is, that stadium isn't exactly cold.
Yeah,
That stadium heats up, but it is. But when you think of football, and this is me too, always thinking about it, it's old school, outside, hard hitting, snow, not Miami pretty. You know what I mean?
that's right. And when they take a shot of the fans in the stands and everything, they are all bundled up, in their parkas and wrapped up.
Yeah.
You're right. That's what's football. Football ain't football unless you can see your breath.
Yeah, I want to have, and I've told the story on here, I've told it on my podcast. I'm like the old guy who repeats himself. Um, when I went to the Green Bay Lions game years ago, it was freezing. And it was at Green Bay, my only time I've ever went there. And they gave us carpet squares, literally thick padded carpet squares to put on our feet when we stood up because the cement was so cold. And that cold would go through your feet. I had layers on. I had
Wow.
socks. Yeah. And it was great. One of the greatest experiences of my life, the tailgating, the bar, the food. And I mean, Green Bay fans are vicious, trust me. But we were partying together, talking so much trash, eating, and then we got inside. I mean, Lions lost that day, but still, um, it was a blast, and it was freezing. I don't think I warmed up for like 24 hours. I was just like, we got back to the hotel, and we were drinking some whiskey, warming up, and I was just under the covers, like frozen, like I can feel my toes now. I'm alive.
And you learn to expect that when you live up in that climate, especially when it gets to playoff time. If you're going to
Yeah.
have home field advantage, it's going to be cold, and that usually helps the home team.
Look at Miami. They couldn't handle it in the cold against
when
Kansas City.
Yeah, when I moved from Chicago down to Miami, and the first time I went to see the Dolphins play, I mean, it was just, this is not football. Everybody's there
No.
in short sleeve tees, shorts, sunglasses, and everything, sipping on lemonade and everything. I'm saying, wait a minute, this is not football. You
Yeah,
know,
they're eating a vegan turkey burger or whatever. Not even a vegan. They're eating some vegan salad and a vegan hot dog,
you're right. Yeah,
sipping on a Mai Tai. You know?
yes, that is not football, folks.
No, it's not. It's not. Well, hey, look, at least the Cowboys can get an early start on their vacation since they didn't do anything.
Yeah,
And they can go on their cruise. And they just announced that they're keeping Mike McCarthy.
yeah.
So I don't know, man.
McCarthy's coming back. It'll be interesting to see, if all of the players are coming back.
This is his what, fifth year as
Yeah.
a head coach, fifth season.
Yeah,
Okay.
but and I'm sure that not right now. He's probably pushing for Green Bay too, because that's where he came from.
Probably. I mean,
Yeah.
well, and here's the thing I was thinking about this. Look, Jerry Jones is old, man.
Yeah,
Okay, like
he is.
I don't want to be that guy, but he don't got a lot of opportunities left to win a Super Bowl. I'm just saying, like the
Yeah.
way that dude drinks too, like, bro.
And I think he was pretty convinced that this was going to be his year. But
He's always convinced.
Philadelphia thought they were going to have a repeat this year too, and now they're homebound also. But
they straight up fell apart.
Yeah, and there were several games that were very, very. In fact, I think the Detroit game was the closest playoff game of all last weekend.
I think so too, man.
Within a point or two, but all the rest of them were just really, really lopsided wins. I think this, as we said earlier, we're recording before the playoffs this weekend, but I think it's going to surprise a lot of people when they find the two teams that end up going to the Super Bowl. I don't know how many of the critics and the sportscasters will have picked those two teams early in the season.
Well, we still got Detroit. Okay.
Yep.
We got Tampa Bay. We've got KC, right?
Yeah.
49ers, San Fran.
Yeah.
And who else? Buffalo?
Yeah. And I mean, it'll be interesting to see, because I think this is going to be it's after the fact now, but some of these games are going to be a little bit surprising, and I think that's what draws more fans to the stadiums and to the screens to see it.
Look, I'm not going to lie. The Tampa Bay game worries me a little bit. Beating a team twice in the season, late in the season, Detroit's had some injuries. We're Detroit. I'm not taking away anything of what Dan Campbell and that team has done.
Yeah.
I can feel my blood pressure raise already. So we'll find out, man.
And then we'll probably spend some of next week's show just updating you on what happened and whether we were right or wrong. But right or wrong, we're going to be here again next Tuesday at 8 a.m. for another edition of Trash Talk. So hope you'll be with us. Okay. And now go start the car and warm up.
It's not too bad. It's only 40.
Oh, we're having a heat wave here.
Yeah, that's a heat wave.
All right. Catch you later, bro.
See ya.